Welcome in here, race fans, to the Irish Hills of Michigan, here to the Michigan International Raceway. We are here tonight with the Swift Motorsports League. It is the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Series. Tonight, these drivers for the first time will step onto the speedway in the season opener, and we welcome all you race fans to bring you all the racing action here tonight. My name is Muth up here in the booth, and alongside me, it is my good friend. It is the boss man, Al Smith. Al, these drivers have been out here on track practicing tonight. They've had many practice sessions throughout the weeks leading up to tonight, and 11 drivers right now are currently getting ready to go qualify.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting race here with these AYERS Arca cars as they work around this very fast and very wide Michigan International Speedway. Very fast here. You're going to see a lot of side-by-side racing. You're going to see them get settled in. We got 90 laps of action coming towards you here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
So with this being the first time these drivers are onto the speedway, we're going to see some brand new faces that are not normally here, especially on a Monday evening. So here in December, we start things off. This is the first race of the week here for the Swift Motorsports drivers, as tonight we will go with the Arca Series, then tomorrow will be the Truck Series, followed by the Xfinity Series, and I believe there is a Cup Series, but we unfortunately at this time aren't bringing you the live racing action for the Cup Series. That is, though, Al, I heard in the pipeline, coming a little bit later on in the season. Could possibly be coming right here to the Turn 3 Racing Network, which would be great. And all these drivers here from the Swift Motorsports, what it is, Al, is we start here with the Arca Series, and then you progress up into the next ranks, which would be the Truck Series and then the Xfinity Series. It's a good fundamental program that they have here already established.
Yeah, it's a great stepping stone. It's a way to feed new drivers into their next divisions without, let's just say, jumping some drivers in that may not be ready for the higher horse-powered automobiles that you have with the trucks and the Xfinity and Cup cars. So this is a good way for them to get used to the racetracks, get used to racing around drivers that they will race week in and week out with, and then they move forward and up the rankings. I kind of like that idea. It's a nice little feeder system, and it follows what you'll see in the real world come February. You have the Arca, the Arca Series, the trucks, and Xfinity. Have that all. That's how it all works. Everybody wants to get to that Cup level, but you have to earn your stripes to get there.
That's right. And well, as we're under 2 minutes before we get ready to go racing here tonight, we're going to take the quick step away. We'll get that national anthem played, and we'll be back here with racing action here at the Michigan International Raceway tonight for the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Series for Swift Motorsports. We'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Oh, say, can you see? So proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Michigan International Speedway Raceway here tonight for the AYERS Arca Series. The Swift Motorsports drivers have all already gone ahead here tonight and done their qualifying. So qualifying already in the books. Al, what do you say we go down live trackside and get this starting lineup started?
Yes, we will come down here starting on the front row with a fast time of a 39.330. That's Jason Branch in car number 22. To his outside, the 03 of Don Kidder. Starting on the inside of row number 2 will be Todd McGregor. To his outside, the 426 is Kevin Burrows. Starting 5th is Andy Starcher in car number 19. To his outside, the 45, that's Robert Gillard. 7th starting spot will be Cody Brown in car number 17. Greg Deesh in the number 1 will start 8th. 9th starting spot will go to the 3 of Roy Fernandez. Justin Gain scheduled to start 10th.
11th would be Michael Atkins Jr. in the number 41 machine. Gary Wells II would start the 24 machine in the 12th position. 13th would be Britt Crawford there in the 08 machine, and Larry Poling would be the 14th car out there. Al, I am being told, though, here tonight there are a couple admins that are not in this race. We will see if they actually do, with a little bit of a lower car count here tonight for opening night. Roy Fernandez is one of those admins here tonight. He has, Al, a harder job than we do, along with Justin Gann. He's another one of those admins here tonight.
They are the ones up there watching these drivers. They're evaluating them. As we talked about in the pre-race show, these drivers are hoping to get the green light to move up the ranks throughout the Swift Motorsports group here. And they have to start out here in the AYERS Arca Series here for the Swift Motorsports. So these drivers out there are going to try to put on, well, they're not going to try. They are going to put on a great race for us here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Networks from the Irish Hills, but they are also going to try to get their stripes punched and start to move up that progression into the next series, which would be the trucks here for the Swift Motorsports group. But Roger, I'm very excited to see this 90 laps of action, and we all love Michigan. You know how fast it is. It's multiple grooves, and I think we're going to see a little bit of pit strategy come into play here tonight.
Yeah, I think pit strategy is going to be where this race is going to be won here tonight. This racetrack, though, Al, it broke ground back in 1967. It opened for operation for racing activities in 1968. So this track has stand the test of times. But the biggest thing that, Al, really throws me for a loop, go ahead, take a quick guess. How much did it take to build this speedway here in the Irish Hills of Michigan?
Are we talking money or are we talking asphalt?
Oh, we're talking how much money did it cost to first open the gates here?
I'm going to guess $5 million.
Well, you hit it right down the middle. $4 to $6 million estimated. Back then, unfortunately, they didn't keep a good record log here at the Michigan Speedway. It's also been called the Michigan International Speedway. It hosts some of the best races of the season. The Arca Menards cars do come here, the NASCAR Xfinity cars come here, and the NASCAR Cup cars come here several times a season. We saw some of the best races this past year right here at Michigan. Kevin Harvick has been able to go to victory lane. There's been a lot of drivers that have come from, we'll call it the iRacing platform, into the Arca Series and do some competing too. Ty Majeski amongst those names. So maybe there is the next Ty Majeski, maybe even the next William Byron here tonight.
Definitely could be possible here tonight. All these drivers are out there in their race cars. They are ready to do battle here tonight. And Roger, the one thing that I am going to be focused on and paying attention to is tire detrimentation. Is they going to take and eat these tires away? Who goes too hard too early? Because right now, listening, getting into that, my inner bald head crew chief guy there off the TV, I'm thinking a pit window somewhere between 20 and 30 laps here on a tank of fuel, depending on how hard you are pushing it. And if that's the case, we're going to see at least a 3 to 4 stop race here tonight, as it is 90 laps in length.
Yeah, 90 laps the distance. You are looking at about a 3-stop pit strategy here tonight at Michigan. We'll see which one of these drivers might head for that 4 pit window if we do get caution flags here tonight, because those tires will mean a big factor. But it looks like it's just about time to roll these cars off here tonight. Race fans, we thank you all for tuning in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope you're ready for some racing action, because the cars are officially rolling out onto the speedway here. We will have 90 laps of tough competition racing action. Currently looks like 11 drivers will take to the green flag here tonight.
Yeah, 11 drivers will roll off the speedway, and it'll be those 11 drivers here. And what is a beautiful, sunny afternoon at the Michigan International Raceway. 72 degrees, 47 degrees Fahrenheit, with just a slight wind of 3 miles per hour out there. The track temperature, though, Roger, that is going to be the telltale right here tonight, is that is 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That is going to be a little bit slick here on the start of this race until the tires get up to temperature.
So we see all the drivers out there assembling down the back straightaway here. Race fans, I hope you're ready and geared up to watch some of the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca series here for the Swift Motorsports. Race fans, it's been a long time coming, a long off season for these drivers, and we are officially ready to go racing. This time by out of turn number 4, we will drop the green flag for the first time ever here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with the Swift Motorsports Group, and we are happy to have them aboard to bring you all the racing action to all of our race fans, whether you're watching on our Facebook live feed here tonight or our YouTube feed. Let's get ready to go racing in the hills of Michigan as the iRacing Pace truck is down and away. The AYERS iRacingPaints Arca series is about to go green flag racing in the season opener. The green flag is in the air. Let's go racing with 90 laps on this board.
Branch going to get it up through the gearbox pretty good. The back bumper, go get single file. Then it's that 71, the Mountain Dew entry. That is McGregor. He will close right there inside the top 3. One car moving up the spot already to 19. The Monster Energy Toyota Camry rushing down the backstretch. That is Andy Starcher. Starcher up 1 spot to the 4th spot as they head down to turn 3 for the first time.
Starcher going to make that move there, and now they single file it out for the time being, but here comes Don. He's got it wound up, and he's bringing the Good Wrench 03 machine right to the back bumper of the Serve Pro. But it will be Branch leading lap number 1 of the season. Nobody can take that away from him. Now, at this point, he has officially led the first green flag lap of the season, and everybody, just like that, has gone single file. There is nobody that is battling right now. Crawford is back here in his Valvoline 08 machine. He is currently a little off the pace here, but maybe, Al, that's the place you want to be in the early stages of this one. You know, it's the opening race of the season. You never know where these drivers are going to wind up running. So Crawford right now in a safe spot, just a little bit behind the field.
Yeah, everybody trying to feel themselves out first night of the opening race here, and they got all these drivers. Well, some of them might have not ran a lot of laps together yet with each other. To feel each other out, get to learn the tendencies of these drivers, as it is Branch still showing the way, but the number 19 of Starcher starting to put the pressure to McGregor as he takes a peek to the inside down the backstretch.
Here he does take a peek with that Pepsi number 41, the DuPont entry, trying to get around the 426 of Burrows, but it's not going to be good enough into 3. We'll see if he can get the good run this time through the center of the corner. Look at that car. It is all yawed out, trying to come through that middle groove here tonight. They will battle at the start-finish line. It'll be side-by-side battles, but it will be Kevin in the number 426 entry. He will lead them. Well, those 2 battles, actually. That battle, he will lead him to the line, and it's still Branch leading the way over Don, who sits there in the 2nd position. McGregor still holding the Mountain Dew entry back there into 3rd. And, a big moment there. Don Kidder was sideways that time out of turn number 2. The Good Wrench car was completely in a slide out of turn 2.
It was there, and right now, everybody can work in the draft. Right now, you see Starcher working the outside of the speedway. As Kidder, now the 426 of Burrows, he's going to take and go to the low side underneath Starcher down the front stretch. He'll get in the toe of the 71 of McGregor, so Burrows is going to try to take away that 4th spot in the turn number 1. They'll go in there wheel to wheel is Starcher way up the racetrack. He'll give that spot away. And here comes the 41 of Atkins. They thought about 3 wide, and now they will go 3 wide down the backstretch.
Right on board here with the driver of the 41. Atkins, as they go down the back straightaway, gave a good shove to that number 19. The 19 of Stratcher will go to the outside here into the corner. Will Atkins be able to work the bottom side of the speedway? He will not. You still got Burrows down there rolling the inside of the speedway here as we complete 5 laps tonight here out of the 90 schedule. Maybe call it about a 1/3 of the way into the green flag stint here of fuel and tires tonight.
And the 22 of Branch really opening up now. 5 car length advantage over Kidder. Gotta wonder if he hurt his tires, Roger, with that slide off of turn number 4. Or if they're a little bit hot right now, is he just trying to cool them off? But he's got McGregor to the back bumper. It is a good battle for the 5th spot now, is now Atkins attacking the Monster Energy number 19 of Starcher off turn number 4.
Let's see who gets to the start-finish line first. It'll be the drag race, and boy, I think it might have been Stratcher just by the splitter on that Monster number 19 entry. He still works the high side of the speedway, and we talk about Don Kidder maybe backing it down just a little bit. He's one of those veterans to the iRacing.com platform. He has been around the block. He's not the new kid on the block, that is for sure. So maybe the wily veteran knows a little bit of something that we don't know. There it is, the new version 7 tires on this Arca machine. So you also got to remember that as you do finally see Stratcher get passed by the Atkins entry. That will move now Atkins into P number 4. Stratcher now working the outside of the speedway still. Here comes that number 426. Kevin not going to be able to do anything with it. He's going to have to go back. There's also a battle back here. It looks like this is for the 7th position. This is the 69 of Larry Poling. He has got the mellow yellow entry, high side and handsome. Here he goes around number 45 of Robert Gillard right now, who's back here in the Dallas Cowboys entry, having a little bit of connection issues to the iRacing.com server. That's why you see him blinking out on our screens here. But he currently runs back in P number 9. Greg Deesh is still back there running 10th, and it looks like Crawford is still running in the 11th position. McGregor, though, look, he's got somebody knocking on the inside, and they're going to go 3 wide down here at the start-finish line. 3 wide racing for the 2nd position. McGregor now going to bring the 71 entry to the inside in turn number 1. Don Kidder has backed it up onto the outside groove. That black Goodwrench 03 entry headed in the wrong direction.
He does. He's got a little bit of right side damage to that Goodwrench 03 as they work down the backstretch. Lose 2 spots that time off turn number 2. Another car to move is the 17 of Brown. Brown working to the inside of the 426, or that is Burrows. Burrows are any Starcher, so Starcher was up to the 3rd and 4th position, now falling back as he's lost the top 5 and is under attack by the 426 of Burrows, and Brown in that AC Delco number 17 right there behind him as well, as they all try to chase down the 422 of Branch, and McGregor is closing the gap there. They had opened it up to about a 5-car advantage. It is down to 4 as they come off turn number 2. And the 41 of Atkins, very impressed with his ability to run the bottom side of the speedway and get that drive off the corner without having a lot of momentum there. Almost contact. I don't know how they didn't make contact there in the turn number 3.
Yeah, Don Kidder back here. He is still moving in the wrong position. The AC Delco machine just out in front of him, that number 17. Boy, is that a good-looking car. Al, that brings me back to the heydays of NASCAR when Dale Earnhardt Jr., yes, Dale Earnhardt Jr. ran that paint scheme, and also, can you name the other driver that made that car famous? Oh, can you name it?
For some reason, I want to say Mike Skinner, but I don't think that's right.
Incorrect. Kevin Harvick also drove the AC Delco machine.
That's right. Yeah, it drove for the Dale Senior-owned Busch team, right?
That is correct. Saw him over here at Nazareth a couple times, but it's still... Oh, wow, I was going to say it's still Branch, but all of a sudden, McGregor and Atkins work around him out of turn number 4, so a new leader here on lap number 12. Leading lap 11 actually is going to be McGregor. He did get the drag race to the start-finish line, and he brings Atkins right along with him. Branch now, Jason Branch, back a position, 2 positions, now runs 3rd in the Serve Pro number 22.
Yeah, I wonder if he went a little bit too hard at the beginning here. He's leading the first 10 laps of the race. Now sits there in the 3rd spot. Maybe gonna go to school and try to figure out, all right, these guys are a little bit quicker than I am at the current moment. What are they doing different that I did? Just as we say that, Atkins gets a good run off turn number 4. He'll go to the inside, trying to do a little bit of side draft on that 71 of McGregor. McGregor will lead lap number 12, but now Atkins going to go to your race lead as he dives it down in the turn number 1. Great move by that number 41 DuPont car. He tries to slide up in front of McGregor. McGregor says, I don't think so. He squeezes that Mountain Dew can a little bit off turn number 2.
Squeezes it, and Atkins now goes ahead and takes his Pepsi machine over top of the Mountain Dew entry. Here comes the serve pro. He's serving up some fast lap times here, but he's going to go to the bottom. Will he be able to hold the momentum? It looks like currently the outside lane is going to be able to keep it wound up out of turn number 4. It will be McGregor retaining P number 2. Cody Brown currently running there in the 4th position. Then it's Kevin Burrows, Stratcher right there, and Kidder has fallen so far off the pace, unfortunately, here in the early goings. He is 4 seconds now off the back of Michael Atkins, who is our race leader. There is Larry Poling. He is closing in on the 03 of Kidder currently, and that would be the battle for the 7th position once Larry Poling does get there. Poling is coming. It's not a matter of if he's going to get there. It's a matter of when Larry will.
Yeah, Larry's been up 6 spots since the start of the green flag there, and that mellow yellow number 69 brings you back to, well, at least for me, back to the old Kyle Petty days when he drove that number 42 in the Winston Cup Series. But right now, Poling, one of the faster cars on the racetrack right now. Their last time by ran a 41.5, so a little bit off the pace from our race leader. Michael Atkins has taken the race lead over from McGregor, and he last time by was a 40.97. So it's about a half a second off our race leaders, but might be pacing themselves as we are about halfway through this fuel run in the opening race for the AYERS iPaints Arca Series.
So this time by, it will complete lap number 15 here, and it will be Atkins still leading the way in the Pepsi. I think that's Baby Yoda powered his number 41 here tonight. And Al, you were talking about Larry Poling's paint job on that number 69. That looks more like a Kyle Larson throwback to me, right?
Sure.
I didn't know we were going to the shore, but hey, all right. Hey, you want to go to the shore tonight? Maybe after the race we get in this little jet and we can fly over virtually.
Oh,
one of them up into the wall there.
Wall, number 4.
That is actually that is Don Kidder up into the outside wall in the good wrench 03 machine. He almost got into Larry Poling. Robert Gillard got down to the inside and got around. I don't know if Poling actually got any contact damage. We'll take a look here, zoom in on this mellow yellow number 69, and the Lumina actually does look pretty good. So looks like Larry Poling's going to be able to continue on, but it looks like Kidder will come to pit road for the first time here tonight with severe right side damage on that Monte Carlo.
It looks like the toe end is a little knocked out of that 03 to the right front tire, leaning in towards the chassis. Not what you need here in the opening night, but he'll be coming down pit road. Wonder if we'll see this start forcing other people down pit road. We'll see how much fresher tires are going to be as he overshoots the pit just a little bit. So Kidder was up front early on, has some trouble now as Mike Atkins will cross the straight, putting lap number 17 to the books, working lap 18 in the turn number 1.
That'll put Don 1 lap down. He'll be the first driver here tonight that does go a lap down. If you're looking at the timing and scoring on the left-hand side of your screen, race fans, you do notice that Wells, Fernandez, and Gann have not started here tonight. Well, that's not because they chose not, well, they did choose not to race, I guess you kind of want to say, but it's not because they don't want to race. It's because they are up in the virtual booth here tonight for the Swift Motorsports guys. They are playing the admin role, so our hats are off to Wells, Fernandez, and Gann here tonight. It is not an easy job to play the admin, the judge, the jury, and all the other things in between there as we stay racing here tonight. They are the ones keeping all these guys in line, and we thank them for everything they are doing, sacrificing their time here so everybody can come out and have a great time behind the wheel here tonight at Michigan.
Good battle shaping up for our 4th position is Brown in that AC Delco car, working the outside of the Burrows off turn number 2. He'll try to take that spot away. See how they get far apart. That is a break in the draft off each other. And now Burrows will get slid back to the 5th spot in that Eve that 426 with the 19 Starcher there starting to close in on this battle. So a nice 3-car battle for our top 4, 5, and 6 positions right there on screen to come across the stripe. I would assume these pit crews are going to start getting loosened up on pit road as we are working lap number 20.
Yeah, they should be coming down any time now. As we see that Cody Brown right now is leading this, what would be the second group of cars on the speedway. Anytime now we should expect to see any one of these drivers come to pit road. Will it be Michael Atkins turning down the pit road here this time by on lap number 20? It looks like he's going to keep it wound up, and we will just turn a couple more laps here before we start those the green flag pit cycle. Don Kidder is back out onto the speedway. Al, he's a couple laps down, currently 3 laps down on our timing and scoring. Looks like the crew did have a pretty solid and productive pit stop as they have beat that right front out as far as they could. The car is going to be challenged the rest of the way, but at least the nose piece of this car looks good. Don't look at the door because it looks a little beat up. One of them coming to pit road here, I believe. This is going to be Greg Deesh. He will come to pit road, the driver out of Ohio.
Deesh going to come down to pit road to surface his car for the first time here tonight, and they did a good job on Kidder's car, getting that car all worked out as he's back out onto the racetrack trying to log some laps here. You never know what's going to happen in these races. That's why you don't just run one lap, you run them all, because anything can happen in the form of auto racing, especially here on the sim side. Is Atkins still showing the way over McGregor and Branch, and then you got to go back 4 seconds to get to the 17 of Brown, who runs into your 4th spot, and he is still battling the 426 of Burrows for that 4th and 5th spot, and Starcher as well. So we kind of got cars grouped all around as Gillard, Poling, and Crawford are also grouped with each other. So we kind of got 3 groups of racing around the Michigan Speedway, a big 2-mile racetrack.
Yeah, that's something we didn't touch on. It may have cost $4 to about $6 million to make this big 2-mile facility here in Michigan, and the upkeep. I hear from a lot of the race fans that we do get to talk to, Al, on a weekly basis right here on the Virgin Racing Network that live up into the hills of the Irish Hills of Michigan. They say the Michigan International Raceway is absolutely beautiful, especially this time of year when they put the lights out around the speedway. I heard just getting to drive on the track is exhilarating, and then you get to look at all the great lights. The only light we have seen so far here tonight, though, has been the green one, because this time by, it will complete lap number 23 here out of the 90 schedule. You're looking at your front 3, though. Atkins, McGregor, and Branch. They are currently lined up 1, 2, and 3 on the timing and scoring. As now coming back out onto the speedway will be the number 1 of Greg Deesh in his Pepsi machine. It looks like there is damage to that Pepsi Challenger entry also, as now here comes Gillard. He's going to come to pit road here. He'll be the first one on lap 24 to pit under the green flag circumstances, as he's actually the first one coming to pit road under full power.
And Larry Poling also coming down pit road with Gillard. So it'll be interesting to see when our race leaders will come down pit road as they work through turns 3 and 4. Doesn't look like this time. Last lap off turn number 4, Atkins had a moment, had to really squeeze on the throttle that allowed McGregor to close back in within 3-4 car lengths as they head into turn number 1. Right now, trying to feel out your car, trying to figure out what you can do with it. Now, these drivers have worked on these setups for the week, got used to how the car feels, and now they are out there. They can adjust a little bit of brake bias while they work under the green flag out on the racetrack. They come down pit road, they might be able to make some changes to make their car a little bit better.
Well, it looks like we might see your front group of cars start to dive in. Maybe McGregor right here is going to bring them out and do number 71. He will. Looks like Branch will follow him to pit road. Both drivers trying to get down to pit road speed, and they both will as you ride on board here with McGregor as he's coming down pit road. And it is a very slow pit road. It looks like right about 55 miles an hour for all these drivers. Second gear, 55 miles an hour, about 3,800 RPMs. As he comes into his pit stall, he will slide to the attention of his pit crew, and oh boy, he passed it out. He has to back that car up.
And not what the 71 of McGregor, who came in is in your number 2 position, needed to do. Is the 22 Serve Pro crew is around, already done with the right side, onto the left side, split in the second can of Sunoco race fuel in it, and he is down and away, so he's going to lose at least 1 spot on the pit road. The 71 of McGregor losing a little bit of time, as now our race leader, Michael Atkins, will head down pit road.
He'll come to pit road here. He will stretch it the farthest out of everybody on the speedway. Atkins will be the final driver to make his pit stop here tonight. Let's see if it's going to be a good one for the driver of the 41. He hits his stall just perfectly. So now all he has to worry about is getting back out onto the speedway. It is Jason Branch leading the group that you see on the speedway here. Branch with McGregor, they just came down together. Kevin Burrows is right there running into the currently scored as the 4th place machine. We will see, though, once these drivers come back and cycle through, it'll take about, call it about a lap or a lap and a half yet for us to be able to tell where everybody is going to shake up here after the green flag pit cycle here on lap, it looks like 27 currently here as we work. Atkins is down and away. He's down on the apron with his Pepsi machine. He will bring it back out onto the speedway here on lap 27. We will see how far he will pull from this group, or will they pull him back in, because they are down the back straightaway just behind him as we go on board here with Atkins looking back. You can see those 3 cars are lined up, and it looks like about a second and a half will be that deficit, though, for Branch to make up.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the 41 had a very, very good pit road time. Down and away, Branch much of a shorter time on pit road. So, but they lost time to your race leaders. Remember, the 71 McGregor, before he came into the pits, he was about 2/10 off of a race leader. Now they're a second and a half. So, interesting strategy. I thought I was going to wait and see how it played out. I thought that Atkins might have stayed out a little bit too long and would have lost a lot of ground to these guys on the fresh tires. I was wrong.
I would have been a betting man, Al. I would have put my chips right alongside yours on the table. As you see McGregor right there, he had a little bit of a slide out of turn number 2 with his Mountain Dew car. He slid down closer to the apron than what he probably anticipated, but he got the car underneath him, and he's back out in the way. So now let's take a quick look here on the left-hand side of the screen. Let's see if we can pull up your most positions gained here tonight. There it is on the left-hand side of your screen. Atkins has moved up 10 spots. Branch is down 1 spot. McGregor and Burrows are holding serve about where they started here tonight. Brown has moved up a spot. Poling has moved up 7 spots. Crawford has moved up currently 5 positions. Gillard and Deesh have moved down 3 and 2, and Kidder is the one that's been off the pace as he slammed into the outside wall off of turn number 2 back in the first 12 laps of this race, and now he's back in running 11th position. He's still out on the speedway, but he is well off the pace here tonight.
Yeah, a tough break for the 0-3 there, having a little bit of issues. Not the night that he wanted to start off with, but that's why we run all the scheduled races here. He'll be a contender. And later on here, and who knows, Roger, we might get a slew of some yellows, maybe some flat tires here. These tires do wear out, and that can cause a flat, and someone can hit that outside retaining wall pretty hard here. They carry a lot of speed, almost 190 plus miles an hour as they enter the corners. It's a lot of wear and tear on the suspension of these race cars, along with the Goodyear Racing Eagle tires.
Yeah, and remember, this is the version 7 tire here on the Arca car. And, well, with it being the version 7, it does wear, like you said, and it is possible to blow tires out. So that is something we will have to watch out for here when we get later on into the run. If we get that far into the run, well, we've got to just be mindful of that front right side tire. But we are green flag racing. Lap 31 about to be completed here tonight. It'll be Atkins still leading the way in the Baby Yoda Star Wars Pepsi DuPont entry. Branch in the Serve Pro. He's going to hold serve, currently P number 2. McGregor back here running 3rd. Burrows is a little bit farther back as he has started to fade on this long run. He was the first driver out of the top 5 guys who came to pit road, and he is now falling about, I'll call it a second back behind McGregor. And then Andy Stratcher, he is back here. He is 3 seconds, almost 4 seconds back behind Burrows, who runs in 4th. That is your top 5 runners currently here on lap number 32. Closing in, Al, just a handful of laps away from that, well, what would be a good feeling for a lot of these drivers is that halfway point.
And the halfway point is definitely starting to loom in as we're climbing the hill up on the beginning side of that mountain. These drivers trying to make it to halfway before they really pour the heat on. And right now is this long green flag run. You've had to come down pit road for a green flag pit stop. You kind of made some adjustments to your race car. Now you go back out there and try to see if you made it any better or worse. And under this green flag run conditions, as a driver, what are you trying to feel out of these race cars to put back to your crew chief and say, all right, we need to do this in order to make our car better so we can go up there and contest with the 41 of Atkins.
I think right now, if you're Branch, you know you have a pretty solid car. You do see out the front of the windshield, you do see Atkins out there. He's only a second and a half up the road. Well, remember when Atkins came out of pit road, he pitted 1 lap after Branch. Well, that's going to give him fresh tires, yeah, but it doesn't look like he's been able to really do anything with those 1 lap fresher tires other than hold serve. So all this is really telling me that Atkins came to pit road harder. He was trying to get to pit road faster than Jason Branch was, and that's what the kind of the difference is. Now, as we talk about it, now the gap is starting to increase, but also Branch starting to have a little bit of what you would like to call out electrical issues on the speedway.
Yeah, having a little bit of a short out there on that Serve Pro number 22 is, well, you see them blinking in and out on your racing screen there. So all that is a little bit of connectivity issues. If you're new to the iRacing platform, we welcome you out there. If you're watching on the Turn 3 Racing Network, Facebook, or the YouTube side of things, we welcome you out here to the Michigan International Raceway. This you're watching the Swift Motorsports Arca series presented by AYERS iPaint, and it's been a great race to get going with, but I can tell you this, that these guys are
Stratcher
all
off the speedway, down onto the apron with the Monster Energy machine. There you see him pulling away. He has gone and hit the inside wall, I'm being told, with the Monster Energy number 19. He's back out onto the speedway. No caution flag has been thrown here tonight, as that was off the racing surface, so we do stay green flag racing, with Stratcher, who was into the 5th position at the time of his incident, has now dropped all the way to P number 7. Cody Brown and Larry Poling have moved around him to run 5th and 6th currently, bumping Andy back to the 7th spot. The truck does have that queued up. They do have what happened to Andy Stratcher off of turn number 2. Let's go ahead and watch this one back. Up against the outside wall, Al. The treacherous iRacing wall sucked him in, and oh, the 17. The 17 of Brown actually was coming up quick and got into the back of Stratcher, turning him into the inside retaining wall.
Yeah, it's in Stratcher hitting the inside wall just barely with the front end of that car, and he has got some damage to the right rear. It's gonna make that car very unstable with a lot of side force. You know that right rear is very, very vulnerable here on the service and in the real world as well. These cars are pretty much what you see them race in the Arca series, but right now that 719 was a top 5 car. It's got some battle scars as he works off turn number 2 and down the backstretch. He is a wounded automobile as he works into turn number 3.
Crawford did get around him for that 7th spot. That'll bump Andy back to running P number 8 currently. It looks like Gillard would be the next machine to come up and battle with him. That is on the same lap currently. He is the last driver on the lead lap, as Don Kidder is down a couple laps here tonight. He is down 2 actually, and Deesh is down 5 laps. He had a pit road penalty which took him out of contention on that first round of green flag pit cycles, so he is running into the 11th spot currently here. Back up front here with your race leader. Well, last time we checked in on him, it was a 2.5 race lead for Atkins. Now it is almost a 4-second gap deficit here tonight, and it is only lap number 39.
He's really stretching out his legs in that Pepsi DuPont number 41 as he works down the backstretch. Very impressive drive coming from the last row on the starting grid and all the way up to your race lead. Almost a 4-second lead as they come off turn number 4. He is just out there on cruise control. Sunday drive, looking at those Christmas lights as they work down the front stretch.
So he'll come past. It'll be 40 laps now that he is working. He has been out front here for half of this race so far. Brandt still running back there in second. Nothing has changed in the top 3. McGregor is sitting there in 3rd. Burrows is still sitting there 4th. The only change that was on the speedway was Brown, Poling, Crawford getting around Stratcher. Where is Don Kidder right now? Where is that 03 machine? Well, the old boy back here. He's one of those good old boys. Don currently running 9th. 10th, hoping that a caution flag were to fly here at any moment. As you see, Them going around Greg Deesh. He is currently running in the 11th position. So nothing happening on the speedway here. So as nothing is happening, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here to Michigan. And just like that, race fans, welcome back here to Michigan. Still green flag racing action as you look in on your race leader. On lap number 42, Atkins still continuing to put on a blistering pace. Last time by, he ran a 40.9 second lap. He is the only driver down into the 42nd bracket here. Let's take a look here when he comes back around the start-finish line, see what kind of lap time he's going to lay down this time, as he almost has a 5-second gap. Start-finish line tells us it's going to be a 40.96 that time by at the line. And it's going to be a 41.16. So a little bit of a deficit there, and it's going to start to continue to climb here. Atkins has those one-lap fresher tires.
Yeah, Atkins really doing a good job preserving those tires. And we saw Branch, he led the early beginning of this race and then lost the track position. And without those yellow flags coming on out, they are out there clean and green, working around the speedway, and Atkins just out there on cruise control, out of fresh air on the front of that Chevy. As they work down the front stretch here once again. Next time by, they'll be 45 laps, or be working lap 45, so we're almost to that halfway point. But I'll tell you right now, these drivers are doing a great job doing what they need to do on the season opener, logging some laps, staying out of trouble, so that way they can make it on around the speedway, and hopefully, and we'll see these drivers up in the upper ranks before no time, I believe, Roger.
Yeah, you can still catch some of these drivers later on in the week. They will be racing in the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series. Some of the drivers that you see here tonight may be trying to get a championship, and one of the first drivers are going to try and play a little bit of strategy here to come to pit road here on lap number 45. It's going to be Strasher. He will come to pit road in the Camry number 19 Monster Energy. Remember, he was spun down the back straightaway off the racing surface, so he comes to pit road. He'll be the first one to put 4 fresh tires on and get back out into the dogfight here tonight down the back straightaway. Atkins putting, it looks like, Don one more lap down, so now that'll be 4 laps down for Don Kidder. And Strasher now will come out of pit road. We'll see where he cycles back out. He's 1 lap down currently. Will he only stay 1 lap down, or will your leader of Atkins get around him?
Speaking to the crew chief there, they did pull out the right rear quarter panel just a little bit on that number 19. They are hoping to catch another yellow flag when they come back down pit road and really fix it. He comes up off the corner. He has Gillard to his outside, so he'll blend right there in front of our race leader who just got around Don Kidder. So Starcher going to stay 1 lap down. He should be able to get that back up once everybody else makes their second pit stop, which we should be seeing here within the next 4 to 5 laps.
And Don Kidder, the reason he actually is 4 laps down is he actually did come to pit road also to see him working to the inside of the speedway around our race leader of Atkins. That will now put Big Don back to only being 3 laps down currently. So we'll see if he can make up some time. Let's take a just quick peek. Remember, we were talking about lap times a little while ago. Well, Don, being a little bit slower with damage, he just ran a 40.67 second lap with the damage, but fresh tires. Your race leader last time by a 41.41. So right there, a 1 second gap just about in those times between fresh tires and damage to old tires as they work around that number 45 of Robert Gillard. He is currently running into the 8th position. Right ahead of Don here is going to be the number 19 of Strasher, who just came out of pit road also, so the tire temp's not quite up on the number 19, so he's trying to be a little bit easy. I did notice he was sideways about, I'll call it 1 lap ago, as here comes Kevin Burrows. He'll come to pit road on the 126.
Yeah, Burrows bringing the 17, Brown down as well. Brown's crew going to take a look at that left front quarter of that AC Delco Chevrolet where they made contact with the 19 of the spinning Starcher down a few laps ago. So the crew going to look at that. They got bare bound ready if they need it. He'll hit his marks into the pit stall. Then the crew goes around to the right side of the AC Delco. Crew doesn't say there's a lot of damage to that left front, so they put in the bare bound away. But the right side done and away, left side up, and it'll be down and away with full tank of fuel as they head on path in the second half for this 90-lap feature event.
14.93 seconds on pit road. They're in the box for the number 17 AC Delco Automotive Parts Machine. That is a quick stop there for that crew. Looks like an identical time to Kevin Burrows' crew, 14.9. So those two guys getting it done. And look at that, Al. The timing and scoring just pops up. It's even from the time they hit the commitment cone to the time they hit the exit cone on pit road. Those two drivers identical from in to out.
Yeah, they ran their total pit lane time was a 44.4. So they were very equal getting on and off of pit road. The crew's doing a good job. They'll come back out, and they're going to do battling it up. Is right now your race leader Atkins still staying out, has lapped up to our 4th place as he just went around the 426 of Burrows, and he put the 89 or 69 of Poling down one more lap, but Poling will also get back by him. He's just coming off the pit road here, and you got to stay on that apron all the way to the backstretch. You can't do that pit road violation. It's Atkins going to make the left-hand turn. He'll peel off the racetrack. Doesn't really need to hustle it to pit road, but he will. Let's see what kind of time the 41 crew will have on pit road.
So he'll come to pit road. That'll hand McGregor the race lead here. He will be one of the last ones. Actually, Crawford has to come to pit road also. So McGregor and Crawford still have to make their second pit stop here of the night. Al, I'm doing the math here, and I got my shoes off, all right, so I can see my toes. You cannot make it from this point.
No, they're going to be at about 10 laps shy at this point. So what I could see happening, maybe some of these drivers doing a 2-tire stop, a fuel-only stop, maybe splitting his last stint in half. 40 laps, they can go about 25 on a tank of fuel, so they may run a full tank, so they're going to at least come down at least one more time as the 41 Atkins down and away. 44.1 on pit road, so he got on the pit road good and off of pit road very good as well. Crew doing a good job though, and a 15.25, so one of our slower pit times that we've seen out there, but they hit the lugs, nothing loose, and they are good to go for this next set of the race.
McGregor is down on pit road also. We'll wait for him to finish his pit cycle, and then we'll talk about where everybody is going to cycle back through, as it will be Atkins. We already know that, retaking the race lead. So it's kind of like a tug-of-war match right now of, you know, when you come in, you pull a little bit back onto the reins, you get the flag kind of in your court, and then you go into pit road and you kind of give the flag back a little bit. Well, we'll see where this is all going to shake out here. There you see Atkins down the back straightaway here on lap number 52 after making his pit stop on lap 50. He will open up a 6.6 second gap over Kevin Burrows right now, who is being hounded by Jason Branch in the Serve Pro machine. Those two are battling for the second position, and it looks like the Serve Pro Branch entry. The number 22 will go to the bottom side of the speedway out of turn number 4 and race to the start-finish line. He will have the second position by the time they get to the start-finish line, but now he's still going to enter turn number 1 side by side, and actually it looks like Kevin Burrows lifted a little bit. He didn't want the battle too hard. He knows he has the older tires between the two.
Yeah, so the 22 of Branch is going to work around them and try to chase down 7 seconds back now behind the 41 of Atkins. Atkins just got to keep it between the white walls and the paint on the inside of the speedway. Stay out of trouble as now Branch going to try to work underneath the 1 of Deesh as they'll split them off the corner. Now a left stay in turn for Burrows, so we'll get underneath Deesh as he'll move it back to the outside, 3 wide, with the lap car of Deesh into turn number 1.
Three wide racing here on lap number 54. As two drivers, Branch having a little connection issues now here with the iRacing server. He will go ahead and now put the power down and pull away from the number 426 entry. They also leave the one of Deesh sitting back there. He lifted out of the throttle and let these two really go ahead and compete for P number 2. That's the heads-up racing that you like to see, especially when we're going to put it in quotes, because all these drivers have more talent than you and I, Al, have combined. So that we just got to make sure, we get clear. But Deesh just moved right out of the way as the gentleman agreement pretty much in racing.
Yeah, he knows that he's down a little bit on power. The car not handling to his likings at the current moment. So he just try to let him earn a little bit of respect of your fellow racers, and that will go a long way. You never know when the favor is going to need to be repaid later on in the season. And these drivers, they will remember that and say, all right, this guy did what I should be doing if I'm in his shoes later on in the season as the race rolls on. Or even, it could even be here tonight. One of these guys have a bad mishap and they might have to be getting out of the way for him. So it's just one of those things where, as a competitor, you want to be nice. You want to give way to your fellow competitors who are a little bit quicker than you are at this juncture of the race.
So it looks like the 17 of Brown will work to the inside now of Deesh down into turn number 2. Deesh should go to the outside. No, he actually got a little loose because he had to alter his line. Now he'll try to just fall in line behind the Brown entry and ride down the back straightaways. Oh, he's actually going to get sucked into the wall going into turn 3. So a rough night here for the one of Deesh as he hits the wall down there going into turn number 3. He'll get back onto it. Back to the race leader, though, here of Atkins. Dominating fashion, almost a 7-second race lead.
Yeah, 7 seconds is now the 19. Starcher down 1 lap to your race leader. That leaves 5 cars left out on the lead lap here as they work in the turn number 3. Starcher and Kidder doing a good job there. It's like how I combined his first name and last name there.
Clever, Al. Very clever.
I try once in a while. I shouldn't do that, though. As Kidder there runs in your 10th spot down 3 laps to your race lead. Not the night that he was hoping for. Was up front early on in the race. Got into the outside wall, and it's kind of hurt the pace of that good rank service number 03. As he's right there behind the 19 of Starchers. They work down the backstretch here once again. 1 car behind them is the 08 of Crawford. He runs in your 7th position. He's had a quiet night and runs inside the top 10 with that Valvoline iRacing machine there, the number 88 right behind the 03 of Kidder. They work off turn number 4.
So he'll suck up behind these two machines and he'll take a peek to the inside with his Valvoline motor oil inside that 08 entry, keeping things very well lubricated here at this big 2-mile track where you are keeping the horsepower tuned up here tonight. He'll get around Scratcher for that 6th position now, and a pass for the inside the top 5. Here comes McGregor. He is singing along with those fresher tires. He gets around Kevin Burrows now, and he'll now be able to see the number 22 of Branch out in front of him just by about, a mere 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, nothing that he can't make up there. He's going to be all jacked up on Mountain Dew as he's inside the top 3. Looking to chase down that Serve Pro number 22 as they're all chasing the DuPont number 41, who is just painting the magic yellow brick road to victory lane right now. If everything goes the way it has, Roger, he's got his lines the next 31 laps to be able to park it in the all-famous Michigan victory lane.
Someplace that I would like to be at would be in victory lane, and we know that'll never happen. But you know what would look great in victory lane? A brand new paint. Race fans, you need to get on your iPhone, your Galaxy phone, your old flip phone. Now you still have one of those that have a data package. You need to flip that open. You need to head over to Facebook.com. In the search bar, you need to type in AYERS iPaints. You need to go over there, get yourself an iRacing paint today. All right, you don't need an iRacing paint. You already have one that was done by another painter. Don't worry. Go ahead, contact AYERS anyway, and get yourself a hero card. Well, I got one on the way for myself, one of our colleagues, David Whirl, who will be bringing you the racing action starting tomorrow night here for the Swift Motorsports Group. Well, he is getting us some hero cards made, and I can't wait to see what AYERS himself can put out, especially since I sent him a SK Modified Owl, one of my favorite cars on the sim.
You do like those modified cars, open wheel, short track racing automobiles. These guys are, I'm excited there. I just checked it out. I pulled up the old flip phone. I'm surprised you didn't hear the old cable modem doing its beeping and bopping there as I was getting on to the old interwebs. And I went over to AYERS, gave them a like, so I thank them for sponsoring some sim racing. We got to support those those that we like to watch here. And if you're enjoying tonight's broadcast, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, or subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber to Turn 3 Racing Network. Get notified every time the AYERS iPaint Arca series is on a Monday night. And we have racing all the way from dirt, road racing, Indy cars, all the way to the Cup cars, as you'll see maybe later down in the season here with the Swift Motorsports. We have it all here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So we are your one-stop shop for sim racing, and we bring you action, probably multiple leagues on one night, but we want you to tune right in here to the Swift Motorsports every Monday night. And as Roger was saying, Dave going to take over the reins next week for us as they work around the speedway. AYERS going to come off turn number 4, and it'll put lap 63 in your books, and we'll be working lap 64. This one's getting down to the nitty-gritty, Roger. When do you think we're going to see these races get split here in this last stint?
Well, I think if you're Atkins, I think at this point with the race lead that you have, you will not come to pit road early. You will run this out. You may be thinking maybe late race caution. You just want to run it as far as you can. Then you're going to come down and put fresh tires on. 8.3 second gap back to Branch is what you have currently. So there's no need to rush it to pit road. There you see Branch right behind them. Then you see 2 cars in between your second and third place runner. That is McGregor. He is running back there. He started third tonight. He's had a top 3 car all night long. He just got back into that third position as he went around Kevin Burrows. Now he's working upon the 03 of Don Kidder. Kidder working the outside of the speedway. He will get around him very easily. It is just 26 laps to go this time by at the line for Atkins, Branch, McGregor. Burrows will now come across the line in the number 426 entry, so he is running 4th currently. Your top 5 runner, though, it's the AC Delco number 17, Cody Brown. He is currently sitting, I'll call it about a mere 17 seconds behind the race leader here as we close in with just 25 laps to go. Al, the pit window, though, you asked about that. It is officially open right now.
And they can come down pit road, and they will have enough to make it to the end. We're saying about 25 to 26 laps on a tank of fuel. So someone could really force the issue right now. Maybe come down, get those fresh tires, and make up a lot of ground here, and maybe snicker one out here from the Atkins number 41, he has everybody down on the ground by the throat right now, just with a stranglehold on this race lead.
Yeah, I wonder if there's going to be a shoe booty Al that comes out onto the speedway at one point.
Maybe a water bottle.
We'll have to see, but 25 laps to go. Atkins will bypass pit road once again. Will Branch, though, decide maybe the short pit strategy with 25 laps to go? Let's take a look. Serve Pro going to say don't need no service right now. He'll go on by. McGregor's going to follow in suit. So it'll be 24 laps to go and nobody coming to pit road here. Last driver that were to come to pit road was on pit road. That was back on lap 56, as now one's going to come to pit road. Right here, Al, we were talking about it, and here he comes. The number 17 to the AC Delco, Cody Brown to pit road.
And Cody Brown with the AC Delco Automotive Parts. Chevrolet coming down pit road. Nothing to lose. I like this strategy call. You know you're within the final window. You can make it to the end. Got to force your hand, maybe pick up a few spots or the race win here, and it'll be a good finish here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Networks for the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca series. And I like this call right here. I really do, Roger. I think it could potentially be a race-winning call.
If it's not going to be a race-winning call, I think it might pick him up a position or two towards the end of this race. We are going to have to stay tuned in right here, race fans, to find out if Cody Brown can pick up a couple positions. Right now, as he's coming back out onto the speedway, he will be shown one lap down, running into the 8th position. Larry Poland did just get around him, so that bumps Cody back to P number 8. and that is just 1 lap down. There's a handful of drivers, Crawford, Stratcher, Poling, Brown, and Gillard. They are all currently 1 lap down. They're racing for that lucky dog position. That just leaves 4 drivers on the lead lap, and those 4 drivers, it is Atkins, it is Branch, that you see right there going into turn number 1. Then it's McGregor. He's going into turn number 1 now. And then it's Burrows as he now will enter turn number 1. One other driver coming to pit road. It'll be the 03 Good Wrench service entry coming to get service. It is Don Kidder now to pit road, bringing the number 19 actually to pit road. The 17 just was on pit road.
Starcher, and he spun coming to pit road, so his night's gone from worse or bad to worse here, Roger. He got on the brakes hard, and it locked him up, and it went him into the spin cycle. A little bit more damage to the front end of that number 19 now as he hits his pit stall, as the crew's going to go to work on this Monster Energy number 19. So tough break for Starcher as everybody else stays on the racetrack. It is still Atkins out front now by almost 9.5 seconds over the Surf Pro 22 of Branch, who's got about 2-second lead over McGregor. So we'll have to see how this will all play out here, but it has been a good race so far. Nice opening night. It's making those guys, is now Atkins going to come to pit road now, so he sees what's going on behind them, and they call it the pit road, trying to not lose as much ground as possible with that 41. We'll have to see if anybody else will come to pit road this time or not.
Yeah, I guess maybe you're going to risk it a little bit. Maybe wants to stretch out the race lead just a little bit here at the end of this one. So Atkins will come to pit road. It will be 4 tires and Sunoco fuel to go the rest of the distance here tonight. So McGregor now takes over the race lead. He has yet to come to pit road. It will be Mountain Dew to fill up the tank of this number 71 when he does come to pit road. And I guess 4 rubbers also to go on each corner of this number 71. But it won't be this time.
Oh, McGregor staying out.
Oh,
now
no, he's going to deke us. He's coming.
He is coming now down the pit road, and he'll charge pit road down to that slow 55 miles an hour. I thought he was staying out.
I thought the way he was entering into the center of the corner of 3 and 4 that he was going to stay out and make another lap, but he deked this out. He comes to pit road. He has a 31-second lead right now over Atkins as the Mountain Dew machine hits its pit stall nice and cleanly. Oh, looks like the right side tires are going up. The left sides are sitting on the wall there. Roll them out here. So it will be a 4-tire guaranteed stop here on the number 71, but it will not be good enough. Atkins will take the race lead. 19 to go. Michael Atkins back to the point here tonight. Crawford is running, just sitting there, 5 and a little over 5.5 seconds back into that second position. Then it's Branch, who is sitting about a little over 2 seconds back from Crawford. And then there's McGregor on the apron coming out of pit road. So he will lose a spot here under this green flag cycle.
Now staying out there a little bit extra time. There is now the 17 of Brown is going to be in his back bumper down the back stretch. So the 71 of McGregor getting up to speed, and he's going to base Delco 17 of Brown to his outside. That's going to be the battle for your 4th spot. And it's all happening off of turn number 4 right now. So gotta wonder if a little bit fresher tires or that 71's gonna be able to hold off Brown, or with the heated up tires that are up the temperature, gonna be a little bit better to get by here for the 4th spot as they battle in the turn number 1.
McGregor still is holding on to the position. They got the black 03 of Kidder just back there. He is not on the lead lap, but he is still right there in focus. You got the AC Delco machine. You got the Good Wrench service machine just behind McGregor here as they work down the back straightaway. It is currently going to be, when they come back across the stripe, it'll just be 16 laps to go for the race leaders. Atkins has checked out. He's already out into turn number 1, and he'll be looking to look down the back straightaway. 16.5 laps to go around this big 2-mile speedway. Al, when the Arca cars come here in real life, they consider this a super speedway per se racetrack. Anything over 1.5 miles in the Arca series is considered a super speedway. So Pocono International Raceway, Michigan International, and of course Daytona and Talladega also fall into that category.
They do, and now Atkins 8 seconds up here. And this has been a great race so far. 15 laps to go. It feels like we just dropped the green flag about 5 minutes ago.
Well, Al, I can tell you it's been about an hour ago we dropped the green flag.
Time stands still here in the Boss Man's studio.
Well, does it stand still or does time fly when you're having fun watching racing here tonight with the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca series tonight here for the Swift Motorsports Group? We got to thank them for everything they've done in the offseason, working with us diligently behind the scenes to bring you all this racing action. We got to thank Justin Gann for getting with us. You know, Justin, a stand-up guy over there behind the scenes at Swift. He's kind of the head honcho, and Roy's the little elf over there. And Gary Wells, we got to thank him for everything he is also doing, calling the shots up in the virtual booth here tonight. But it is 15 laps to go in the season opener here for the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca series. And we will see if Atkins can hang on. Can the DuPont Baby Yoda-powered Pepsi entry come back around here 14 more times? 28 miles of racing, Al.
Yeah, and he's kind of backed it down a little bit. The race lead was almost up to 9 seconds. Now down to 7.7 seconds as they head down here to turn 1. So Atkins kind of on cruise control, backing it down, making sure he doesn't make any mistakes, staying away from the wall, and trying to keep the car underneath them. He has some time he can play with there as he work off there. His Brant's really starting to trying to wind up his rubber bands, try to make a run towards the front of this one. As he works around the outside, I believe that is going to be the 45 of Robert Gillard. So Gillard working down the inside of the speedway. He'll let the 22 of Branch on by as they work through turns 3 and 4.
As we were on board there with Branch, it looks like he didn't even really lift that much to get right around that slower car there of the 45 of Gillard. Gillard currently running back in 9th here tonight. 13 laps to go already. McGregor back here just kind of out for what we're calling a Monday evening drive. And race fans, if you're here in the Northeast, a Monday evening drive may have consisted of that white fluffy snow coming down from the sky. So Al's up there. He knows what's coming to him. Al broadcasting out of our New York studios, myself down here in our Pennsylvania studios. We got the snow earlier today. Al, it's coming to you. I put a nice little bow on it for Christmas. It's headed your way to New York.
I appreciate that. I'll send it right back down there. Maybe it'll be the yellow kind, though, so make sure you drink that up.
Oh, I love a lemon snow cone occasionally. But, Al, unfortunately, come Wednesday, I'm getting hit with another snowstorm down here, and guess what's coming your way then? Thursday.
We actually are only supposed to get some flurries here tonight, but Wednesday we're supposed to get a 3 to 5 inch snowfall, so...
Well, I'll trade you that 2 to 3 feet that I'm supposed to get down here. I'll trade you.
That's right. Hey, that's all right. You need a white Christmas.
Well, at least we can look forward to something here at the end of 2020 other than bringing you this amazing race here tonight at Michigan. I wonder if they got snow up in Michigan. I didn't check the forecast in the real world at Michigan. I can tell you virtually it's sunny and 75.
Yeah, it's been nice. I got the shorts on, short sleeves out here. I had to put my sunglasses on to not get blinded by my co-partner here, but Atkins out front of this one this time by. He'll get the high 5 times 2. 10 laps to go. Atkins on cruise control, 7.6 seconds. He has had a very dominating and impressive performance here at opening night for the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca series, and what an amazing job that they have done here as he crossed the line. 10 laps to go.
10 laps to go, 20 more miles of racing left in this one. It has been great. Race fans, we all have to thank you with 10 laps to go here tonight before we get towards the end of this one. We have to say thank you for tuning in, and if it is your first time on the Turn 3 Racing Network, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. If you're over on Facebook, hit the thumbs up, and leave a like also. That will grant you, well, access to everything. I'm just kidding. You have access to all of our videos at all times here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether you were bringing you the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca series, or if it's just tomorrow night when it's the NASCAR Truck Series, brought to us by Performance Motorsports. They will be live right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with David Whirl coming out of his cave to get behind the microphone. And then just on Wednesday, you can find the RB Custom Rigs Xfinity Series here. David Whirl on the call once again for that one. Before, well, it would be then on Thursday, you can find these guys live with the Hyperdrive Racing Cup Series. So a lot of racing action left to go this week here for the guys over at Swift Motorsports. And the racing's not done here tonight. Still a lot of racing. It'll be 8 laps to go this time by for Atkins.
Yeah, and Burrows was able to get by Brown, so that pit strategy of coming in early I thought was going to pay off for Brown. It looks like the tires just not holding up to the speed. Burrows able to get back around them, and now he's trying to chase down the 71 of McGregor as McGregor holds on to that third and final podium spot, as that's 4 seconds behind the Surf Pro branch number 22. Atkins now stretching his lead out to over 8 seconds with 8 laps to go.
Yeah, the closest 2 drivers on the speedway, you see it right now as we ride on board with Cody Brown. Just out ahead of him, that is the 426 of Kevin Burrows. There now you see us looking back. Right there you do see that number 17. That is Brown, and that is your 5th place runner. He is the final car on the lead lap here tonight. Will they be able to stay on the lead lap? Because where is Atkins right now in reference to the 426 entry? Well, he is about, call it, I don't know, about 20 seconds up the road. So just about a half a track behind.
Or is he half a track ahead?
Well, I'm going to say this, Al. It's going to be the first one to the finish line, and that will tell us who's ahead and who's behind here tonight. 6 laps to go when we come back around here. 12 more miles of racing. Baby Yoda has the strength. Can he bring it back around here, though? 6 more times in the Irish Hills of Michigan. Do they have that car tuned up, dialed in long enough to run? That gap, though, has now opened up to about an 8.5-second gap over the Surf Pro Jason Branch machine. So 6 laps to go and an 8.5-second lead.
8.5-second lead is a big lead here at the 2-mile Michigan International Raceway. Down the backstretch, he'll fire almost 190 miles an hour in turn number 3. This time by Barney the Flagman. It's going to give him the high 5 sign. 5 laps to go at the line as they come off turn number 4. And Atkins can pretty much, well, he's going to be greasing up that pay window here tonight in the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Racing Series. And this has been a great season opener for this team. They've come in with a game plan. They've executed it perfectly. And the driver behind the wheel has hit his marks for the last 85 laps. Can he do it for the last 5?
Well, I'm going to say, Al, if he's made it this far, that's, call it 80, we'll call it 85 laps farther than I would have made it into turn number 1. So now this time, 4 laps to go. Atkins, now a 9-second gap over Branch as he comes down the back straightaway. McGregor on the back straightaway also. He is all jacked up on Mountain Dew, coming at Branch like a spider monkey, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough or soon enough to battle for P number 2. Kevin Burrows has fallen back just a little bit now on this long run. He sits 4th. Cody Brown has not been able to make up any ground on Burrows currently, who runs 4th. And Crawford is back here running in the 6th position. He is the first car, 1 lap down. Larry Poling in the number 69 Mellow Yellow entry. He is running 7th currently on the speedway. And he has moved up 7 spots. So starting shotgun to the field, Larry Poling has moved up 7 spots, running 7th with just 4 laps to go. Stratcher is sitting there 8th. He is currently 2 laps down. His night went from bad to worse coming to pit road. Robert Gillard is sitting here in 9th. Don Kidder is still out onto the speedway. You see him coming down the back straightaway. He is running 10th currently, and Greg Deitch is currently running 11th. That is your field, as there are just 3 laps to go here at Michigan.
Michigan Speedway is providing some great action here tonight, as it's been all green flag laps up to this point. Can they make it another 2.5 laps? They've got 5 miles left of racing to do. Can they get it done? This time off turn number 4. Well, Barney's going to show them the rabbit ears with just 2 laps to go for that DuPont Pepsi sponsored number 41. I think they got that on ice down there in Victory Lane, as he is on cruise control with just 2 laps to go.
I don't think that's ice that it's on, Al. I think it's Baby Yoda power that's up underneath that is going to keep that Pepsi Cola nice and cool and refreshing for this driver. He is going to need it after 90 pounding laps here. Well, hold on, Al. Knock on wood real quick. We say 90 is the scheduled distance. We have another half a lap to come back around here to get that white flag before a caution flag would come out. We've been on iRacing long enough. We know not to call the race before the race is over, because anything can happen. But this time by, the white flag will fly as he comes out of turn number 4. Atkins will get the AYERS iRacingPaints 1 lap to go here at Michigan.
1 lap to go as he'll hit down in the turn number 1, hitting his marks, trying to make it through turns 1 and 2 without any issues. You never know if he was pushing these tires. He drifts up a little bit there, gets up towards the outside wall, and stays out of it down the back stretch. He'll go. He's headed to you in turn number 3.
Coming in turn number 3 for the final time here tonight, the Pepsi Chevrolet number 41, Baby Yoda powered Michael Atkins has led the most laps here tonight in the hills of Michigan, and he will come out of turn 4 for the final time here tonight. He will go to victory lane in the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Series race number 1 winner. Michael Atkins will go to victory lane.
Atkins going to pick up the win with Jason Branch. Now going to come across the stretch. He'll finish in your number 2 position, right behind Atkins, and then it'll be McGregor and Burrows going to be racing out the corner. Burrows going to pick up a 4th spot, and rounding out your top 5 will be the AC Delco number 17 of Cody Brown. That's your top 5. Crawford will finish 6th, Poling 7th, Starcher 8th, Kiddard, and Deesh rounding out your running order. And that has been 90 heart-pounding green flag laps, mentally draining for these drivers, and, well, and for Roger.
Well, that doesn't take very much here as Atkins will burn him down on the front straightaway. He is our winner here tonight in the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Series here for the Swift Motorsports Group. And look at him. You thought he was tired, Al. He's got plenty of steam up underneath the hood of that one yet.
He does. Well, then it's the Chevy, just give up the ghost.
Never give up if you're the Chevy driver. You always have enough power up underneath him. As it looks like currently, we will head to our post-race show here to see if we can get in touch with Atkins and Branch and McGregor. Stay right here, race fans. Post-race show brought to us by the guys over at AYERS iRacingPaints. We'll be right here in Michigan in Winner's Circle. Welcome back here, race fans, to the Michigan International Speedway here for the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Series for the Swift Motorsports Group. 90 laps have been officially completed here tonight, and we do have a winner. He drives the number 41 entry here tonight, Michael Atkins. You have won tonight's race here at Michigan, and a very hard-fought battle, 90 laps here. How did that car feel tonight as you put it in victory lane?
Snug on entry, really tight, and tight is a more or less an understatement of words, but all in all, it was a pretty good race.
It was a good race, that is for sure. This just being the opening round of the season, this is a whole new crew that you have assembled to come here and race on Mondays. Is this crew ready for the grueling schedule ahead?
I hope so. We'll soon find out.
Well, that is for sure. Is there anybody on this number 41 here tonight, though, that you got to give the shout-outs to in victory lane?
I got to give a shout out to Shad Curran, Darren Clement for having me with ECM Racing Team, and it's always a blast just sitting down talking with Darren, learning different things on what to improve on and everything else. And shout out to everybody on the team. They're off in another league doing their Arca race as well, so just got to give a shout out to all of them.
Well, there you heard it from your winner tonight. Michael Atkins will win. He is going to lead the most laps here tonight at Michigan and pick up the win. The first race of the season for the AYERS iRacingPaints. He wins here tonight at Michigan. Al, I believe you're standing down trackside on pit road there with the man who's going to come home second here tonight.
Sitting down here next to the Serve Pro, number 22 of Jason Branch. And Jason, you led some laps up early on. What did you need out of this car here to maybe go up there and contest with Michael Atkins?
The car was good. I got a new wheel setup. I'm still trying to feel that wheel setup out. And like I said, I was fast for a couple laps, but I was trying to conserve some tires, and then once he got past me and got out a little bit, I kind of went on cruise control and just trying to protect second, hoping for a caution. It didn't come out, but I mean, I got to give it to Michael. He was fast tonight, and I had nothing for him.
Talking about going green to checkers here tonight. Talk about how mentally taxing that is behind the wheel, knowing that you have that chance. You don't know if a yellow is going to come out, so you have to play that gamble of pushing it hard or kind of going to conserve mode. How difficult is that as sit behind the wheel of trying to figure out when it's time to go, when it's time to ride?
Yeah, it's frustrating. I haven't had a green to checker race in a while, and I started out, I was pushing a little bit. I got in hot to turn one lap, and the first two cars passed me, and I said, all right, well, I'll just maintain behind them. And then again, I can't believe there wasn't a caution, but I was thinking pit strategy the whole time. Unfortunately, Michael had the same pit strategy that I had. I was going to split that last pit stop, hoping he was going to go and run it all the way out on a fuel run, and he pitted the same lap I did. If I would have known he was pitting before I committed, I think I would have stayed out hoping for a caution. But I mean, it worked out. Second's good. First race, feeling out the car. I think we're in good position.
Yeah, it's got to be a good points night here tonight for the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca series. But before we let you go here, load up and head on to the next one. Who makes it all possible? Who do you got to send a thank you to for your second place finish here tonight?
Oh, man, first I got to thank the sponsor Serve Pro for putting their name on the car. Casey Duncan for painting the car for me, bringing it out fresh out of the paint shop today. I also want to thank 4X Racing, a couple of my teammates. They'll be over here later. Again, they're also in another league racing their Arca race tonight. A few of them are going to trickle on over here, and I think it'll be a good season.
There you have it there. That's your second place finisher here tonight with a good start to the season. Jason Branch in car number 22. And Roger, that is, I have it down here. Have you caught up with our third place finisher?
Yeah, I believe we do have a communication established with the man who's going to finish third here tonight, the driver of the Mountain Dew number 71 of Todd McGregor. Todd, a third place finish here tonight. You got to feel pretty good on opening night to come away with a top three podium finish.
Yeah, it was a challenge. I tell you, learning these cars are, every time you come here, it's a little bit differently, but I think I was beating myself in the pits more than anything.
Yeah, pit road, that last time you came down, you actually, just checking the timing and scoring real quick over here on the right-hand side, and, you did actually post one of the slowest times coming to pit road on that final stop. Is that really what let Jason Branch go ahead and have that second position? Because you were right there, right up to the end.
Yeah, I know. Every time we pitted, he would come out, he was 5 seconds ahead of me, it seemed like, and I would track him down, and we would level out about, 1.4 apart, and the last pit stop, I just overthought the entry and didn't want to get a black flag, and just ran out of talent, I think.
Well, where you ran out of talent, we still up here in the booth, Al and myself, we didn't even have that much to start with. So that's, well, I guess, well, I mean, if you don't have any, well, let's just skip that topic because you're still better than us no matter what at the end of the night here. You finish third in the first race of the season. A lot of racing left to go. Can you carry the momentum and possibly go up there and battle Atkins and Branch just next Monday night?
I'm going to give it my best. You know, I'm going to go out there and practice some more pit stops for the next track. And I think that was my weakest point in my racing. Just kind of keeping the car underneath you there on cold tires was a little challenging. But other than that, it was, you know, green flag race. That's always hard to beat those guys that are really, really consistent.
When you come home third here tonight, is there anybody on this crew that's not jacked up on Mountain Dew that you have to thank tonight?
Oh, I just, no, it's all me. The crew, they're all just part-timers, and no, it's good time, guys. I do appreciate everybody's effort. I know there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that we don't get to see, and meetings you guys have, and putting these things together. It's pretty awesome, and I do appreciate it. Give us a platform to come out here and have some fun and do these things and televise it, and it's just really a lot of fun. I do want to say thank you to everybody.
Well, there you heard it from the driver who comes home third here tonight. Todd McGregor will round out our podium finishers tonight here in the opening night for the AYERS iPaints Arca series here at Michigan for Swift Motorsports. Al, that was your top 3 finishers here this evening in a great 90-lap race we have seen.
Yeah, it was one of those races where you weren't sure that at the beginning of the race that they were really throw in some haymakers, trying to get all the track position they could. Well, some contact, they were able to keep it under control. We saw some guys go for a spin cycle off of the corners here, but Michigan, once again, not disappointing, providing some great action and some fuel and some pit strategy, which always makes the racing exciting. This is going to be an exciting series to watch. You'll want to tune in each and every Monday night here as we have the Swift Motorsports AYERS iPaints Arca series on action here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It's been a pleasure. Roger, thanks for sending the helicopter to get me and to bring me to Michigan.
Yeah, the virtual Michigan International Raceway is round number 1. You can catch more of the Swift Motorsports Stable series just tomorrow night with the Performance Motorsports Truck Series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Same time, but on air tomorrow, it will be David Worrell bringing you all racing action. That's going to pretty much end it here tonight for us at Michigan. For everybody over at AYERS iPaints, all the guys over at Swift Motorsports, my name's Roger Muth, that's Al Smith, and we hope all you guys stay safe, especially around the holidays, and we can't wait to see you at the races.